Welcome everyone to the live stream here on lichess and Twitch. I'm your host, International Master William Paschall. Thanks for tuning in. Mr. Coffee. Mr. Coffee not keeping up with his tennis news. Typical. Alright. What's up, Mr. Coffee? Asterbate. We're back. Not a big tennis fan. Tennis and bowling. Basically, very similar. I think golf goes better with bowling. Yeah, I'm not a huge tennis fan, but I follow a little bit of what's going on. I know more about tennis than football, for example. I mean, European football. Alright, we should be in the tournament room. Wait a moment. Wait a moment, I was just fixing the board. Pawnda Horses Club tournament. Winawer Swiss. Winawer. I pronounce things like an American too much. Winawer. I just can't do that. Too much work to say Winawer every time I say the word. I feel like violent. Schieberspieler is here. Aldisto is here. Viktorovich is here. We got a lot of French players coming out of the woodwork. Viktorovich, Schieberspieler. Mr. Sheg is a new entry. Druv. Palots, AP87, Asterbate, and Harish. We had Hanish. There was Hanish before. Mr. Sheg is strong. He's 1-0. Oh. If he beat you, he must be strong. 1-0. Perfect score. Alright guys, we're starting in 10 minutes. French thematic. I'm doing this once a month just for fun. Throwing out the odd thematic tournament. We had a vote. I believe in democracy and capitalism, but not too much capitalism. Anyway. Schieberspieler is first. Sparkle Horse, Aldisto, Viktorovich. We'd already named these guys. Alright, 10 players. Democracy. Anyway, we voted for the Winawer, and I was not one of the people who voted for the Winawer. I will say it straight up. But I believe in democracy. Unlike like 45% of Americans who no longer support democracy. Sadly. We've got 9 minutes till the tournament starts. Alright. Yeah, I wasn't here yesterday. Not a big deal. The Monday and Wednesday streams are not as important as this. I was kind of having some personal issues, so took Monday off. And you voted for the 4 pawns. I think I voted for the 4 pawns too. But honestly, the Winawer, I had this sort of regret when I voted for the 4 pawns. I wanted to kind of take it back and change it. I don't really play the French, so that's my problem here. Mr. Coffee, everyone deserves a day of rest once in a while. Yeah, well, I mean, I've been like pretty good at tennis. I basically never miss a stream. Ever. Sleet, hail, rain, whatever, I almost never miss. I'm very regular, but I got messages from people like, "Where's the stream today?" Because I'm, no one ever expects me to not be there. Forget that we're human. 8 minutes, guys. So it's a 7+3 rapid casual. 2 minutes between rounds. Weekly tournament for our team. Feel free to join us. 8 minutes to go. So right now, let's see. Number 1 would play number 6. Schieberspieler versus Vlad. Sparkle Horse versus Druve. Mr. Sheg versus Asterbait. Welcome, everybody. Please subscribe, support the stream if you can. Appreciate it. This is. I think we did have a sub today. I don't know who it was though. Someone resubbed at some point before I was streaming. Appreciate you guys supporting the stream. I had to wake up really early today. I'm not in a good place condition wise. Mentally I'm okay, but I'm a little bit sleep deprived. So I had to go to the district mayor's office, or whatever you'd call it, to like stand in line for hours today, trying to get my I have to get like a card to prove that I've been vaccinated. It's really, I was just standing there forever in this line. It was like Disney World. All right. Small but strong group. The 7th highest rated player in the tournament so far is 2,000 plus. We need more low rated players. AP87 1902. There's a huge gap between 9 and 10. Asteroid is 1638. AP87 is 1902. 264 rating point gap between 9 and 10. We need to get more 17 and 1800s in this team. Harish and Sean joined. Mr. Coffee, what's your rating? You're in the gap. Now, Mr. Coffee's probably 19. Need more people in that rating range to fill this gap. 25, 25, 23, 22, 21, 2000, 2000, 1900, 1900, then it just drops off to 16. Is Slaggy an actor too? My face looks familiar. I don't know what you're talking about. Slaggy is my dog's nickname. My former dog's nickname. You're not playing. Your rapid is 1864. 1890. Asteroid is underrated at 1638. But sometimes he's not really paying attention. Seems like he's in another world or something. He doesn't always give his A game. It seems like distraction or something. So what's happening? Tournament in Romania now? I don't know. I'm so turned off by Magnus Carlsen. I never want to watch anymore. He's done so many of those stupid rapid tournaments that now we have like a real tournament, and it's just like, I feel like it's just another one of the Magnus Carlsen tournaments. I can't take anymore. Magnus Carlsen dominates the chess world. Just kind of boring. I hope he loses the World Championship. I really, really do. Oh, he isn't there. All right. There you go. Well, that's good. But it's his, he owns it, you know, so it's even better, right? It's the Magnus Grand Chess Tour. It's worse, Schieberspieler. He isn't there, but he owns the tournament instead. So it's basically the same thing. The Magnus group owns the Grand Chess Tour, which is worse, like him playing in it or him owning it. Whatever, man. Chess, I don't know. I'm losing faith in chess. Cooking Rooks. Hello, fellow chess gamers. Three minutes to go. I'm not gonna win this tournament. I'm not in a good condition, but I'm gonna play my best. Cookie Brooks can't participate fully today since working and watching the stream. Interesting. Just keep it on in the background. I'm sure your boss won't mind. So, nice of Sheaver Spiller to drop by with another strong player. Aldis, though, hasn't been here recently. That's plus Yevgeny, so now we have a bunch of good players. Mr. Sheg is supposed to be strong. Jern Vlad is good. Edward Elric, welcome. Thanks, guys, for subscribing. Hungarian entrants are not online. You mean Mr. Sheg is not online? And Palots is not online. Yeah, Palots has missed first rounds before. I was commenting today that, you know, this, don't take it too personally, but you know, I've noticed that, you know, they're a little like lazy Hungarians. Like, just a observation from my experience today in the mayor's office. They're not really highly motivated there. Like, if it was like applying for the same document in the United States, the workers take their time. They don't really care. They're like eating lunch. We'll show up whenever. It's kind of like different attitude than what I'm used to. Applying for a card today at the district office. Do I seriously? You think I was born in Hungary? You should read my profile, Sean Pinto. WJ Loof, what's up? 500 for the beer and coffee fund. I'm glad you reminded me. My coffee is done, but you can't get an accent like mine, Sean Pinto, when you're born in Hungary. All right. Even if you watched a lot of television, I have a very, very strong American accent. It's hard to imitate. I joked about a Hungarian friend of mine who has a John Wayne accent. But that's like, you know, probably easier. I have an authentic. Thank you, WJ Loof, for the first donation for this week. I had to miss yesterday. Well, okay. I have an unusual accent because it's kind of like, it's merged, like a couple different accents kind of merged. But I hear it myself. You know, I hear when I pronounce certain words. I hear my own South Jersey-ness coming out sometimes, more than anything. That's my truest WJ Loof. I'm used to hiding it a little bit, kind of covering it up. But my parents were from Pennsylvania, as I mentioned, so I get nervous. I'm afraid that the clock's going to run out. I mean, I grew up in a place where my parents weren't really from that exact region, so they spoke differently than the people around me in my neighborhood, for example. A little bit. Those are close, though. Pennsylvania and New Jersey have similar dialects. Then I moved to Boston, and I never lived there. Boston has a very strong dialect. You can't pick that up easily. It's very different from the dialect. I could never really assimilate in Boston because I don't have even close to the Massachusetts accent. And obviously here I really try to tone the accent down so people understand me. I came to Hungary to escape Al-Qaeda and Donald Trump, and to offer my students a discount because I can like live more cheaply here. I can live more cheaply here. I can pass the savings directly to the consumer. It had nothing to do with with GM norms. I'm long beyond that. Closest I came to a GM norm was 1998. All right. Anyways, I came to get away from Al Qaeda, and I stayed for the Hungarian food, basically. Yeah, my mom's from Pittsburgh. She had a pretty strong accent, and her really country sounding, almost like a Midwestern twang going on. So that's weird, you know. My father was from Philly, and my mom was from Pittsburgh. Very different dialects. Then I went to school in New Jersey, which has another slightly different dialect. Then I went to college in Boston. So then I moved to Europe. It's confusing, isn't it? What am I supposed to do here? Bishop takes right away. No one ever plays this. So this is Aliekin versus Nimzovich. Famous game. Nimzovich played f5 there. In a very bad position, I think. Now I'm out of book. Anyway, guys, welcome. I was in Pittsburgh just once. I think I played in the Pittsburgh Open in like 1991 or 1992. Pittsburgh Open 1991, probably. When I was a freshman. I finished my freshman year in college. Only time I've been to Pittsburgh. I left my bag on the bus. What am I supposed to do here? That was like, it seemed like an endless bus ride from Philly to Pittsburgh. It took forever. It seemed like it took forever. I don't have much here. Yeah, I graduated from Boston University a million years ago. So I could be a professional chess teacher. Okay. Knight takes e4, queen d8. White has a tiny edge. I don't know what I'm doing. You almost went to BU. Oh, wow. Well, I like Boston. I mean, it was great to live in a different place. It's a great city. It's just really too expensive to live in the States. Unless you're making like 6 figures. For me, it just doesn't really make sense. Everybody's always asking me, why do you live in Hungary? It's just more affordable. If you're not making like a 6-figure salary, the United States is devastating. I don't want to live in a country where I have to spend like 25% of my income on health insurance. It's like ridiculous. All right. Let's go. But believe me, I've thought a lot about moving back to the States, but it just doesn't seem like that's an option. We are fully developed, almost. We may have gotten someone trying to join the team, and my notifications don't always cooperate. It's really weird, like, everyone I know who's a Hungarian is, like, streaming at the same time tonight. Man, nothing. We've got nothing. 0. Not you, but there's like 4 of them at the same time. Yeah, I don't play on the evil chess site. Obviously. I'm not interested in playing 1 minute or 3 minute tournaments. So that's not important. You got a job as a school teacher? You get full insurance and a pension. Yeah, well, I mean, that's one. My mom was a teacher, and that's one of the only jobs where you get a pension and health insurance. And that is a reasonable career. I shouldn't have been a chess player. I was thinking of joining the postal service, but I'm not sure they get medical benefits. Yeah, you should try being a teacher in like Budapest. They probably make like $500 a month or something. If you compare to other countries, they're probably doing all right. Yeah, that's my backup. What do chess players who can't be chess players do? I don't have enough money to play poker. What are we gonna do? A sad stripper. Better to be happy, whatever you're doing. Man, I don't know. I should have played F4 last move. Mr. Coffee, can you put him in the team? I don't have any notifications, but I can't be doing that in the middle of the game. Put him in the team. F5. It's Nimzovich. Pilots have played really well until that move. I can't really advocate F5 as a good decision by Black. That doesn't seem right. That's what Nimzovich did. That was move 4. Just don't play F5 in inspiration. Actually, Black was playing fine. Maybe the knight on G6 is a little bit weird. But I was very concerned I had nothing here. Good money jobs. Good money. Everything's about money. Sad state of our world. I mean, I'm not a communist. But still. Just because I play on lichess, just because I play on lichess, am I necessarily a communist? It's an interesting question. Dude, this is going to be the longest game. It's possible that actually bringing Hungarian food over to the United States is a good business. Look at this move. Rook b3. Gotta give black credit for that. And then knight g8 also. Really interesting move. This is not the game I needed for the first round, though. I'm not here for this tournament. Maybe I should just sit out and honestly like commentate your games, guys. I had problems sleeping last night. Had to wake up way earlier than I'm used to this morning, and I just don't feel fresh. Black resigned. Wow. All right, that was fortunate. Back to tournament. It's definitely the last game. I got 2 requests. It was not the last game. Flamingo Pop and Mickey Dicky. All right. Wow, I was sure that would be the last game going. Hold my beer. Do you have a beer too? Hold my beard. Shearspiller is still playing. Oh. The French player grindeth. It was a proper Bishop A5 Winawer. I played. Yeah, is that, do people call that the Aliakin Gambit? Well, I just mentioned the famous game where he beat Nimzovich. But other than that, I don't really know. I think I like didn't know what I'm doing after she takes. Plays knight f6. I'm out of book like on move 6. Because I've never played that in a serious game. But I was thinking about, what was it? It's always interesting when you see like great players who played other great players from different generations. How many games did Aliakin? I mean, actually, Aliakin and Nimzovich were pretty much in a comparable generation. But I thought it was interesting to think about like Lasker versus Aliakin, for example. Who are your favorites, Slaggy? WJ Loof, what? My favorite players? I can't answer those questions. And I don't have a glass for my beer. Forgot. It's just not right drinking beer from a coffee cup. But we'll have to do it. There's no time between rounds to go get a glass. So WJ Loof, I hate all like who's your favorite questions. I have so many favorites. I just can't decide, you know. All like the great players in history, all the world champions, pretty much, and a handful of others. All the world champions and all the great players who are almost world champions, like Rubinstein, Kyrgios, Korchnoi, Floor. Who's your favorite U.S. president? You got a message that I got back 20 bullet points. Game 2. Jern Vlad. All these French players here. Wait, does Jern Vlad play the French too? Guys, don't panic if your time is ticking down. That doesn't apply. Last time I held a tournament that was thematic, it was a Richter Rouser. I didn't do very well, actually, for someone who plays that opening. Now we'll see how I do in another opening. Well, actually, I didn't know that. So James Polk invented the polka. Are you serious? You learn something new every day. You're just making that up? I would believe anything. I'm that tired. Alright. So... I'm just gonna try to play something weird. I'm gonna gamble here that this rare move will somehow give me a better chance. My opponent, like, let's say, doesn't know it. I'm not really up on the black side of the Winawer, so King of Fate is pretty much never played. Castles is a move. Ivan Farago Ivan. My Hungarian pronunciation sucks after living here forever. Farago Ivan is a specialist in castles kingside, but that's very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. You're from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I know Norm, of course, man. I was wondering. Actually, I did a Google search for Norman Rogers like a couple weeks ago. I was thinking about him. We were always friendly. I knew Wilbur Page, but not well. He played a really good tournament back in like 1992, I think, like the Philadelphia International, where I played. He tragically died at a young age. Dude, I'm from South Jersey. I mean, of course I know those guys. That's my, they're guys who are just a little bit older than me. I mean, they're older than me, but not that much. Of course, I've played Pete Rogers numerous times, but not recently. Not the last time was like 25. The last time I played Norm was like 1995 or something. Maybe a little later. Maybe I played Norm Rogers back in maybe 98 for the last time. But I'm from the region, So H4. The region. It looks like Jernvlad knows what he's doing. I'm going to close this down. There's going to be a problem here on this diagonal. Basically, I don't know what I'm doing. It doesn't make sense the way that Black has played this. Let's put it that way. If I wanted to close the queenside, I should castle queenside, I guess. Lionel Spoon, I'm like literally the greatest chess player ever from South Jersey. I know all those guys. Any masters from the Philadelphia area that you could name from that generation, I would have known them or played them. Though I never played with Wilbur Page. I remember this funny time. something happened. I think like Wilbur Page offered Roman Gigiashvili a draw in this game where I was sitting like nearby. Roman did one of the funniest things he ever did. He was insulted that a low-rated player offered him a draw. So he told him like, I'll let you know when it's a draw. That was totally diss. H5, knight f5. We're just trying to hold on with the king in a bad place. I would normally be over here on the queen side. If you want to close the center in the Winawer, put your king on the queen side, and c4 keeps the lines closed. But I would say it's harder to play white in this kind of block position. Rook b1. Jernvlad is a solid player. You guys have the better of me here. I really I don't know, the theory and the ideas and the French very deeply. I actually have only played a handful of games in the Winawer with white. Maybe like 3 or 4. I try to avoid playing against the French in general. So even when I play e4, I'll specifically like screen my opponents. If they play the French, I probably won't play e4. There was a number of times when I played people who like sometimes played the French. Once I lost against Ibragimov, because he would play other stuff, and I had no way of knowing if he would play the French or not. I think I've only played maybe a handful of games. 1984. Yeah, I never played with Ray Robinson either, but I know who he is. We could have played, but we never did. There was a lot of quads around, like the World Open and stuff. That's another guy that I could have easily played, but didn't. But I think that Wilbur would have been a good player. He was becoming a good player when he died. He had his best result ever back then. And Norman is a good player. Alright. But Pete is getting up there. He must be around 60 now. He hasn't been too active. I checked it on Google a couple weeks ago. Like his last tournament was maybe a couple years ago. Bishop h2. What are we doing? Botvinnik? Botvinnik, man. Alright, there's queen g8. You want to just grab pawns? Provoke weaknesses. That's a long way back, though. You're talking Lionel Spoon, the year that I started playing chess. Literally, my first tournament was in 1985. Rook a1. He went back to a1. I want to go maybe back to my other plan. What is my plan? Put my queen on g4. It's hard to come up with a plan here. Overprotect. What am I doing? What are we doing? He's gonna have sacrifices and whatnot here. But I think we're alright. I've got this if necessary. Sure up e6. So my original plan was the Botvinnik maneuver. The queen h7. This is in a game from his match. Like, there was a game with his match with someone. I don't know if it was against Smyslov, but the idea, it probably was someone else. Botvinnik has one game in 60 what's it called? 100 memorable. What is it? 100 selected games. I'm thinking Bobby Fischer. Wow, Bishop d6. Check him out. Vlad with the evil tactic. Nice move. Threatening Bishop e7. That's a nice move. Okay. We can calmly defend against this. It is a tremendous move, though. You gotta give him credit. All sorts of insane tactics here. But that's not bad. 2,000 USCF. Better than 90% of chess players. Queen e7. Alright, that's a problem. Nice move too. Knight e3. Damn. That is a really good move. I'm like living on the edge here. Damn. Not what I thought you would do. Wow, you totally changed direction on me. Now I'm in serious trouble. Damn, I did not know that was his plan. I'm just collapsing. This is an unbelievable game by White. He must be very, very comfortable on the white side of the Winawer. It totally showed here. I thought everything was fine until this like maneuver Bishop d1, Knight f1, and then when I'm expecting Knight e3 as Knight g3. He drew last time in a tough game. What? What? Okay, this was like a gift. Gift. I was totally lost. Sure, and Vlad had much simpler ways he could have played it. Icy Rosie. Alright, you're accepted. Yeah, you played great. I missed knight g3. I'm just like fixated on knight e3. I hope I don't have to play Schieberspieler again. The pairing system here is pretty odd. I love... How do you live without... Well, I lived in Boston for a long time. So I gradually weaned myself off it, man. Yeah, I miss American food. I miss stuff like that. You can get bagels here. I can get bagels but no cheesesteaks and hoagies. Just talking about it makes me sad. Yeah, it'd be cool to open like a South Jersey style restaurant. Alright. Schieberspieler out of the stove. I weaned myself off that living in Boston. You can't get good Italian subs and cheesesteaks in Boston. Yeah, I live here to pass the savings on to the consumer. I feel bad. That was lucky. I should have been toast. Oh no, the Schieberspieler. Alright, what do we do? Oh, he's playing the same as the first opponent. But he likes his bishops too much. Yeah, I mean, this is like the professional variation for black. What happens if g4? Our only chance to beat Schieberspieler, well, not the only chance, but the best chance, is probably some sort of caveman-like attack. Yeah, look at that move, knight d7. I don't know the theory. A lot of times I get tempted into doing aggressive stuff. And it looks like that's my... That could be my demise if I'm not careful. Okay, whatever. Um, I don't know. But I have no experience here. I think g4 might even be a move. Maybe it's a different position. Probably not. You gotta be pretty crazy to confuse Schieberspieler. Yeah, he's fast. Flagging master. Fast and solid. And between those two, it makes him extremely difficult. Fast master. And freaking solid. With good technique. But don't talk about food. I need a proper dinner. I'm gonna eat after the stream. He can't resist trading queens. It's like one of his biggest weaknesses. He'll basically agree to any exchange of queens. Strengths and weaknesses. You can't resist queen trades. He's a sucker for queen trades, basically. Now wait a minute here. Okay, what's happening? Like knight c6. I don't know. Knight c6 pins me in a weird way. Knight c6, king f8. What do I do after that? Usually Schieberspieler likes to have the... He likes to have the bishop versus the knight, but his knight is pretty decent here. So white's alright. I mean, black's alright here. Time advantage. could be a sharp endgame. I played Boris Basinski. We knew each other well. He came to Boston in the years before he died. Well, I'm not sure if he was in Boston right before he died, but he was living in the Boston area for a while as well. Yeah, Boris was a good guy. He was one of the first strong players I beat. I was lucky against him. I think I hung a pawn and then somehow swindled him in a tournament game in Philly in 1990. One of my first master scalps. Not my first, but one of the earlier ones. I was not even a master, and I beat Boris and another two other 2300s back to back to back, and then I had to play Joel Benjamin and I got crushed. I don't know if I want to do that, actually. Chicken Master. I offer a draw. Oh, I'm glad he played that, though. What if he saw it for the draw? E5 seemed like a weird move, actually. What's he doing? He's got a good move there. Huh. Just when I offer a draw, it seems like he made a weird move. I mean, theoretically, I have the better structure. Black's king compensates. I was surprised by e5, though. I guess it's okay. But I wouldn't, like, decline a draw and play that move. It's a weird move to play for a win with, kind of. I think it's equal. But I wouldn't be surprised if you have a better way instead of e5. Yeah, I mean, I was on the verge of overextending like the whole game. It felt like. I don't know. Maybe I was never worse. But this opening was kind of sketchy. I was really like reaching with that g4. Like, I know g4 is an idea, but not in this position. Just not in this position. You thought it was my secret preparation. G4 theoretical novelty. I guess you have to take the pawn and pray or something, huh? Yeah, all those guys. I played with Mike Shahadi and the Richard Costigan, but I never played with Demelt and Bruce Ryan. But I mean, I know them to see. A lot of those guys were active your generation before me. All right, man. Good game, I guess. Who had the lower cent upon loss? Was mine 10 or 8? I don't know. I was worried I was overextended. I didn't intend to play like a maniac, but as soon as I did it, I was like, oh man, this G4 stuff, you can't do that against a fast player. Let's see what Aldisto's up to. If I was faster than you, I could get away with that crap, but you're faster than me. I can't play like too sharply and have enough time to calculate when I need it. It's too risky. Quam is up a clear piece against Aldisto. Alright. What happened there? Aldisto's weird openings. Oh, Aldisto's poor. I don't know that Aldisto doesn't maybe know the French. But this is not a big deal. Interesting. So it's like equal. And then black played b6, which looks like a weird move. But you gotta do something, right? I guess you would take here. Aldisto blundered. I don't like b6. He sacked a pawn, apparently. It was just a exchange French, essentially. He's slightly worse in this exchange French. Ooh, there's some sort of tactics. Maybe. Rook e7, rook e6. But nothing happened, and this happened. Is there a trick? With knight f5 check? Knight h5 check? No. Wow. So actually, Quam snuck him with that trick there. That's pretty weird. It was easy to miss, the weird knight. Delayed knight fork. Thanks everybody for joining our tournament. International Master William Paschall by way of South Jersey, Boston, Budapest. I mean, I do the tournaments with a 3-second increments, so hopefully the games are decided by, position rather than time. It's pretty hard to swindle people with a 3-second inc, but Aldisto is fast. Yeah, I would have played that move on a previous move, but I guess it doesn't matter. Objectively, White's winning here. Let's check out another game. Is that the only game still going? Wow, we had a small field today. Mr. Sheg lost his first game. Oh, Mr. Sheg never showed up. What's up with you Hungarians? Wait, wasn't Mr. Sheg in the chat or something? At one point? Schieberspieler? Is it just my imagination? I'm kind of tired. Was it my imagination or was he in the chat before at one point? And then he disappeared. Alright, so that is the only game still going. Quam is fast, too. Got a whole extra piece here. Oh man, he's like panicking out. Quam is a fast player in panic mode. Panic me this, Batman. The 1930 should be able to win this. 3-second increment. In fact, as I said, Quam is a fast player. He's not a slow player. You want maximum distance with a rook there. So rook there is a weak move. Yeah, I don't like the way he traded pawns. It's a win, theoretically. But I'm not sure that's the best way to do this. This is not the easiest position to win. The pawns are not that far apart. Again, it's like probably a technical win, but not so simple. I would not have traded the third pawn. However, situation is becoming more clear. It looks very familiar. That's going to be hard to defend against. But that's why I designed the time controls, you know, so they won't be... You can't just, like, flag people. The position has to be the most important factor. Time is fine. We need to use time so the games aren't, like, exorbitantly long, but the game should be decided by the board, not by time. That's why I don't like playing bullet and 3-0. Alright, now we're on to the next round. And I don't have to play... WJ Loof, thanks again for your donation earlier. Guys, please subscribe and support the stream if you can. Back to tournament. Where's back to tournament? Yeah. Alright. Solid draw with Schieber Spieler. I wonder if Schieber Spieler plays the Winawer. Do you even play the Winawer, or do you play classical variation? I don't even know. I don't remember. Seems like the classical is a little more solid. Winawer is kind of risky. You're getting close in rapid ratings. Yeah, I'm closing on my peak. Peaking. No, I mean, I think I was up 25-20 or something, but I don't really... I'm not too competitive about the ratings. I just played some games randomly. I didn't really care. I think I gained like 5 points in the last couple weeks. To go from like 24.97 to like 25.02. Winawer is much more interesting. You know, it's very imbalanced. But the classical scene is more solid. So I'm in trouble on the black side more. We hope that we got opponents who play like d4 with white. Oh, you're playing the variation I played. What happens if like knight e7? Then an a3. So I like Schieber. The reason I started playing this with white was because I was reading The Sorcerer's Apprentice. I think there was a Bronstein game in his book. Bronstein annotated a very interesting game in this line with white. What an amazing player. Speaking of WJ Loof earlier, I mentioned, you know, famous players who had not been world champions that I like. And Bronstein, like, you can't like have a list of the greatest players who never became world champion without at least considering including him. Consideration of inclusion on the list. Cooking rooks. Rook cooker. Cooking up some rooks. How did you come up with that name? You dropped a rook. Niels is a famous player and a subscriber to Sladgy's stream, which is cool. Good to see you back from the work world. Alright, now we will exchange on d4 and isolate that pawn. Pawnda. Pawnda Mania. Princess Chess, welcome. I got confused. We had two old friends join us. Niels and Princess Chess. Right. I don't know. I don't know. Wow, no exchange for you. This is the player who earlier said he never trades queens. What about that pawn on d4? I mean, what are you going to do about that? Pawnda Mania. Princess Chess Pizza. Don't know, it's a Dorito. I thought it was a pizza. A Dorito. My children and I speak Hunglish, where we like combine Hungarian and English into like one language. Was it? Sheepspiller was asking what Hunglish was, or something, earlier. Edge Dorito would be an example of a Hunglish sentence. Very Chendesh, right? Edge Dorito. Of course, Dorito is Dorito, no matter what. It's not a good example. I want to play f5. Does that make me a bad person? I know that it's in a way like anti-positional. That's how like Palos lost the game against me in our earlier example, right? She played f5, bankrupting her position on the e file. I mean, every position is different, subtly different, right? Right? No two positions are the same. But in this case, things are a little different around here. Now, that's an interesting moment. I like Black's position. Bishop e7 is a kind of sexy move. Like, seriously, I could have played Bishop d8, didn't even consider it, but we're on the a3. I say your knight is bad. You say it's not, but I say it's bad. Alright, knight g7, h5 resigns. That's the point, right? Among other things. That would be funny if he had gone into that. Now his knight goes back to the prison square. Still, life is not over for white here. Hanging on in a slightly unpleasant situation. I mean, if you don't know openings, you have to be a good defender. That's why Karpov became such a great defender. Positions like this. Karpov. So I can't break through. It's like a force field. Unbelievable. Cheapo flagging win. Anyway, we still got some work to do. A lot of work to do here. Apparently it's not a win. Wait this holding. With Karpov-like technique. I don't know anything about this player. We played just once. But he's not an opening theoretician. But judging by his rating, I mean, he must be pretty durable. I've been known to survive bad positions myself, now and then. I feel like there's a tactic, but it's not obvious. White is a pro defender who doesn't like to trade queens, by his own admission. But I think if you like defending, you would like trading queens, actually. He doesn't defend by choice, only by necessity. Like, Schieberspieler is a good defender. I'm a good defender. We both like trading queens. Maybe a little too much. At times. Now, this move is suspect strategically. Signal the full retreat. Wow. That is an unreal move. Wow. Knight to G1. Wow. Unbelievable. Canceled the plans. I changed my mind. So I dropped my A pawn to bishop d4. Oh well. My concentration isn't really 100%. I had a great position, let it slip. But I had it all set up until he found that move. That knight g1 move was like a monster defensive game. That was a weird simul game. So we've never played this sort of time control. Alright, my king is a bit strange here. Oh, he likes trading. I thought you didn't like trading. It turns out he likes trading. Rook salad. That's better. I mean, cooking rooks is alright. It's cool. Rook salad. Salad rook. Should I go with the later? Yeah, I mean, computer will hold this all day for white. Easy draw for the engine, right? It's a classic engine position, by the way. This or like bad bishop of any kind is very engine-like. We'll never lose this position. So there's no possible way to make progress. It's a complete fortress. Interesting. I didn't check the standings. Is that important? However, b4 seems a bit weird. But again, I still don't think the computer can lose. If white is a computer. Human will lose this possibly, somehow. I don't mean I literally have to retreat my pieces back, like king b7. Christian Science Monitor. Monitor lizard. Monitoring the G3 pawn. Rook and bishops are not known for their problems. Rook and knight is usually an inferior combination to rook and bishop. I think his only mistake was playing b4. That was a little over the top. I mean, now he's got like every single pawn on the wrong color. Yeah, I mean, if white doesn't play b4, it felt very fortressy. You know, that's probably a draw somehow. Black has to be careful too, not to let him in. Alright, Druvgol is still playing Vlad. We only had 17, 18 players. Yevgeny. Whoa. Who's who? What is happening? King f4. Yevgeny is black. It's a French. Flamingo. What? Wait, what? Master had that move. Wow. It's a trying to win move. Wow. Nice draw. Drevgol. Zernvlad. This is a rook. This is a rook. The rook and pawn endgame of the standard variety. Oh no. Drevgol traded rooks. Never do that. That is a totally drawn ending. And he traded rooks. The distant opposition I don't think is going to work here. Black has too many waiting moves with this pawn. Opposition's not going to hold. Tragic blunder in a simple move. Zervlad is too experienced to not win a simple king and pawning game. White resigned. OMG. That's a bad resignation too, because like the next move is stalemate. That's a really bad moment to resign. No, it's not stalemate, I'm sorry. King A2, B3 check, never mind. I'm a little tired. No, it's not. It's a good resignation. It's lost. I'm sorry, I was hallucinating. It was like Black's turn. Alright. We have 45 viewers. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Let's go back to this Winawer Pawnda Rapid. Every month we're going to do this once a month. Play a random thematic tournament. I don't play the French, but it's fun. The French is the opening I probably play the least. And, you know, the E4 defense I know the least. And it's fun. It's somehow freeing to play something you don't play. I respect the French. We got Schieberspieler and I tie for first. Jernvled has 3. Miki has 2.5. Quam 2.5. Then there's 4 players with 2. Asterbait in the 2 group with a win against AP87. Dude, what? AP87 resigned after 5 moves? Suspicious. I think Asterbait is like bribing his opponents or something. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe. Mr. Coffee, you should have played. I'm sorry, man. It's the French defense. This was your night to play. You're not even in the tournament. You should have gotten a day off of work for that. That's not fair. You didn't talk to your boss? Like, hey, there's a thematic tournament on this chess site. And I'm a mod in the channel. That didn't fly with boss. Yeah. To play the Nefedov. I'm unfamiliar with this. Apparently my opponent is not. So I just transpose back. I don't really know. What do I know about chess anyway? Jernvlad has this diagonal. Donuts are good. I agree. Donuts are tasty and fun. We don't have a lot of donuts here in Hungary. It's kind of a donut-free zone, which is not very fun. Black is playing this in a rather unorthodox fashion, I should say. Unorthodox fashions. Not how it's normally done on the black side of the Winawer, but that's the fun. I mean, we're playing openings that, you know, people don't know, so. I'm not going to troll you because you don't know the Winawer French. That's half the fun, playing something you don't know. Alright, now my bishop needed a square, so I was thinking h3, but now I don't know anymore. My knight is the problem. We got the Jernvlad maneuver. This is a good move. Hopefully. Refrigerated biscuits, deep fried in peanut oil. You know what? We have an interesting thing here in Hungary. We have fried dough, but it's not served like with sweet powder, like something like that. What's this B5? Wow. Fried dough is served sweet, basically. That's the idea. What is going on here? Flamingo Pop is not limited by biased, hackneyed ideas. So the coolest snack food in Hungary is basically fried dough served with like sour cream or cheese. I actually like it better than the American version. It's called langosh. Langosh. But we call it fried dough in English. But they're always served with like powdered sugar. The idea of making langosh in America is with a sweet thing. All right, now I could play rook b1, right? Simple and good. Maybe not. So what's up here? Talking some fried dough with Mr. Coffee. Mr. Coffee's probably like jonesing at work with no donuts or nothing. Oh, they have yeah, powdered sugar is standard fried dough. Fair. So what's the material here? He didn't even think about it. Didn't even think about it. Rook f8. An unusual move. What? Wow. This is crazy. I don't know, Flamingo Pop seems suddenly very, very strong. He can like see everything instantaneously. How does that work? Does anyone else notice that? He also just beat Yevgeny in the previous game. He's missed something. Dude played like a genius. And then hung his f7 pawn. He seriously played like an absolute genius. And he was that close to holding the game, and now he's going to lose. That's insane. He was like a millimeter from saving the game after being completely lost. That's my... Yeah, the time I played Gata was weird. Flamingo Pop needs to slow down. You're like a genius. You can't slow down. Whoa. I don't know what to tell you, man. But I think you have a bullet problem. I had a situation when I played Kamsky where I showed up to the board and I didn't bring a set. And then he ended up like being in his hotel room, like preparing for me for like 20 minutes while I'm sitting there with no board to start the clock with. He got to prepare for me for like 20 minutes for free and then showed up late. It was so dumb. Alright, last game. Peace down. I don't see Kamsky streaming that much. I mean, I don't know. He was a while ago, but I think with live chess coming back, that's more his thing. Pretty much everybody became a streamer during the pandemic. Although actually, Gata was starting even before that, to be honest. What did he start, like 2 years ago? It wasn't just because of the pandemic. What is haluski? Like a hallucination? This game I can't watch, man. You're just down a piece. Resign. Holding up the tournament. Alright, so who's where? Mickey's gonna win. Schieberspieler and I tie for first. Jernvlad lost. Oh, against Schieberspieler. What happened? He played like a good French against me. I played garbage. That wasn't my problem. Alright, Aldisto lost 2 games in a row. He was upset by Quam and then had to play Schieberspieler. What does Aldisto do on the white side of the French? Is that does he do the wing gambit against the French too? Guys, we're going to be back hopefully tomorrow, Wednesday. Weird openings Wednesday, Blitz, if I'm not too depressed. I'm going to go get some dough. Feel free to donate some dough. WJ Loof. They're American Hungarian party foods. Thick noodles, cabbage, and local apples. Well, noodles and cabbage is an interesting combination. There are some such things. I like cabbage with noodles. Cooking rooks. Donated 500 bits. You guys just keep making me hungry. Don't talk about food. I want some fried dough now. Alright, 2 rounds left till dinner time. Dough for dough. There's this other thing that's very popular called chimney cakes. Have you heard of that? WJ? They're like these round cakes that get cooked in this brick oven kind of thing. They're kind of long, elongated, and circular, like tubes. Yeah, I mean the main dish is pork. There are chicken and beef, but you know, raising cows is expensive, so it's not as common. Pork is the main meat food. Chicken is relatively common, but beef is kind of a delicacy you don't have every day. We're not all as lucky as cooking rooks. Oh wow, so you have a Hungarian church in the town where you work, and they have a restaurant. Yeah, cabbage noodles is weird. It's a weird combination, but it's good. Alright, so I'm playing against Aldista. Uh-oh. I'm going to try to get him out of prep. We'll play some kind of side variation. I doubt this is very good. I think probably Petrosian played b6. I remember some games I studied like 25 years ago. Now f4. What? I didn't expect f4. That's a serious adjustment. Reminds me of my first chess club. The church basement, man, is a great place for a chess club. Yasser. But Yasser is a hugely... You know, that's funny that you mentioned that, Bradley Bloom. Because there's no coincidence. Yasser was hugely influenced by Petrosian. I mean, I just know that from logic. It's obvious. You know, a lot of stuff that he plays. The English, with white, the French. He definitely studied a lot of Petrosian's games. Petrosian. That's good. Good to point out, though. Yeah, if you're looking for a more modern example, the Yaz. Yasser, obviously, a fan of Petrosian. The English really is a giveaway. Alright, what do I do here? I was going to put all my apples in one basket. I mean, I just don't know Winawer theory enough to really play it. This looks pretty logical by white. What happens on bishop a6 though? I mean, this is my point. I guess we're pretty awkward here. White is just better. I mean, what should I do? Should I take on c3? Maybe not. I mean, I'll have to do that. Oh, be afraid. Yeah, we've had people, probably Schieberspieler likes Formula 1, and we've had some other people here on my stream over the years. I don't really get into it, but a pretty big fan base. Sure. Oh, Hungarian Formula 1 is next. Okay, I didn't really think about it. The weird thing about the Hungarian Formula 1 is that, I mean, the racetrack isn't like really in the city in Budapest. It's outside of Budapest. So, you know, if it was like closer to the city, I think it would be a bigger deal. Well, ideally, it would be better. I think. Queen c8, only move. Or can I play bishop takes c3? Well, I didn't really want to play bishop takes c3, but now he's got a tactic, so it looks like I'm in trouble. We have to take on c3. Speaking of Yasser Ceremony. Now we must. There is no choice. Yikes. Maybe I'm screwed here. Bishop takes c3, queen a6. Queen c8, knight takes d5. Oh, it's defended. Whew. That's close. I thought he had knight takes d5 and queen takes queen takes f5. Be very afraid. Thanks for subscribing, guys. But football is the biggest thing right now in Hungary. My natural passive instincts start kicking in when I play the French. Alright. What about my king safety? G6? Spassky Korchnoi Candidates Final. Dude, that's excellent suggestion from Lionel Spoon. That's true. Fantastic games that those guys played. I agree. Highly recommended. Yeah, man. That's a great match. There were insane games where like Spassky played with his king on d1. Absolutely. Very good recommendation. I feel like it would be dangerous to play c5. Because of check. But c6 is at the same time kind of passive. But we'll take our chances with passive, I guess. You know, I can take with the e-pawn. Something I wouldn't normally like to do. In some situations. I mean, I don't really like playing c6. My instinct wanted to be c5. But I guess he has like queen check, king f8. My king is a little bit bad, but probably I should have gone for it. Cookie Works just gifted a tier 1 sub to Bradley Bloom. Generous, as always. Cookie Works is selectively aggressive with his gift subs. You learn so much time every time here. This is the most exposure I've had to the French. We could make like a French joke. That would be politically incorrect. A4. Yes. Yeah, I figured this was going to happen. I'm taking my chances with passive against Aldis, though. He's a good all-around player. I'm just like not really feeling great tonight due to lack of sleep yesterday. I don't have my full capacity. I'm basically working on like 50% battery power. So I'm trying to be a little more cautious than I would normally. Plus, I'm playing the French, which is not my usual thing. I mean, I might make a good French player, but you know, it takes a lot of. I always thought it takes a lot of bad, bad beatdowns to become a good French player. Probably bad beats. My last French was against Andrei Volokitin's dad. I beat his dad for revenge. That was weird. I must have played him and his dad in the same tournament. His dad was like a 2000 player. Prior to that, I lost to Karu. Yeah. It was an advance against Karu, and I thought I was worse the whole game, but I looked at it afterwards, and I was actually holding against him if I had played carefully. But again, you know, that's the thing. Like, when you play an opening like that, even knowing if you're like okay or not comes with experience. For example, King Kong. But it's a draw. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna try to push this too hard. It's not a forced draw. But I don't think that black really has any winning chances here. I can just hold the line. If I hold the line, I'm happy. I don't like this position. I was always passive. I mean, realistically, what's my plan? Triple exclaim. Knight A8. Who famously said, the Emery Tate move of the year? I always joke about that, our only game. Where I was like, definitely not worse. And then both sides were mutually afraid, so we agreed to a draw. And after the game, like when we started analyzing, every time we looked at it with someone else, he started to act like he was better and better. Till finally he was like winning by force. He was crushing me the whole game. It was like the game's like story just took on this life of its own. We're starting to get something going here. I mean, I don't know. Realistically, I don't think that I'm better here. Alisto had the same centipon loss as me. 4 inaccuracies. Black had 3 inaccuracies, 1 mistake. But it wasn't too bad. I mean, I don't feel comfortable playing the black side of this stuff. Crazy storm. Alright, what happened? I'm happy with the draw there. It looks like it's going to cost me the tournament, though. Schieberspieler takes the lead. Just 1 round remaining. Is there anyone left that can stop Schieberspieler? Yevgeny, where are you? Yevgeny, why are you so far down in the cross table? Dude, what's happening here? Alright, there's the game. Yevgeny. Alright, Jernvlad against Yevgeny. Dude, what's going on? I'm looking at the wrong game. Wow, another classic Winawer with Jernvlad as white. He had me on the ropes. As well. But see, Jernvlad doesn't have the privilege of having his opponent's king on f8 or f7 like he had against me. Yevgeny put his king in the proper place on the queen side. It looks like Jernvlad is in trouble. Trouble. Material is in fact equal, but that the coordination of white's pieces is a little sketch. What is going on? Simply bishop d3. This annoying threat of the rooks coming to like h8 and g8 was causing all kinds of problems. It looks like Yevgeny had it last move. Jay Zhao. That was just too hard for white to play, I think. Too tangled up. But maybe, white's actually hanging on. Rook h8, queen g5, rook g8, queen e7 check. Final position. The final position was not lost. But Yevgeny's quick. Good game, guys. Alright, last round of the Winawer Pawnda Rapid Tournament of Many Names. Unfortunately, we had a little problem. Playing the black side of the Winawer has been not so hot for me. And now I've got a half point behind. It looks rough. I'm thinking Yevgeny is the man, though. Yevgeny defeating Schieberspieler in the final round. Damn it, he already played Schieberspieler. Shit. Oh, well, there goes that theory. Yeah, there's just not enough players today. 18 players for a 9 round. With a lot of people dropping out. Schieberspieler will probably play Acerbate in the last round. But I can content myself with second. Could be a miracle. Maybe who's left? Palots? Quam's gone. Did you play Jernvlad? I'm playing Yevgeny. So far I've played A3 and 92. One of my students played this against me in a training game the other day, and I was like, whoa, what do you do against that? No one ever plays bishop to e3. So, how bad is it? Okay. So how does that work? After a3. So I think I had the exact same game against my student. And I played an awful theoretical novelty with black in a similar position, getting worse game. Yevgeny probably will not repeat the poor maneuver that I played with the black pieces. But anyways, I just wanted to play something to stay out of main lines. Maybe not get behind on the clock. See, h6 looks substandard. Not bad, but I doubt that's black's best move. Reasonable, though. He just wants to stop bishop g5. BFD. You're slightly weakening your king side. Meanwhile, on the other side of the board, I'm preparing for the king side kill. I don't know. So you're playing pilots. That's the move I played in my training game. I put my queen on e7. Peter was like, "Oh, that's awful. What are you doing? Why is your queen on e7, you idiot?" I'm not sure. But maybe this version is better than mine. Very likely. Oh man, I totally didn't even consider that move. Unbelievable. What is going on around here? Yevgeny pretty quickly makes decisions. Practical player. I mean, I was already thinking about like g3 there. That's an annoying move. Hey, what's up, someone on sound? Last round. Hungarians on board one. We missed you on Sunday for simul time. I hope you'll be here this week. We have the technical endgame. Someone on sounds knows how much I hate endgames. I'm hanging on to my extra tripled pawns. Let's make them count for something. Yeah, I had to do a Naomi Osaka this week as well. It's not easy. to balance life. Dropping out of Monday's stream from the schedule. Alright guys, last round. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for being subscribers, supporting the stream by showing up. Because showing up is half the battle. I try to keep it fun. Boom. Alright, so that's your big idea. Very tricky. At least I get my knight to d6. But objectively, not sure. Man, I have got to wake up. I don't know. Bishop d4. It looks like objectively like bishop d2 was a weak move. But it's a very tricky position. David Bronstein. Only David Bronstein could love this position. Man, I'm going for it. Is this right? The preemptive rook d8. Classic. Classic trap. Okay, so what's happening here? c7. Wait, c7, rook d7, knight takes, c8, knight takes d1. What can I do? I mean, I have to make some kind of natural move. What does this do? I don't know. What's the best square? Yevgeny is such a tricky dude. Pawn structure. Pawn structure. Can I play c7? Alright, so now what do I do? Maybe I should play something else, like a4. c7. Make your other rook better. Maybe I can pry this open. So you're threatening my pawn? Right. What can I do? What choice do I have here? I mean, that was brave the way he allowed that pass pawn. Fearlessly. A little brave, anyway. I guess it's not a big deal for a strong player. Wow, that's aggressive. This is getting more complicated now, rather than less. Bishop b7 was aggressive. They're all damn sound. Your openings? What does he play against the French again, Mr. Sound? Whoa. What is this? An uncompromising fellow, my opponent. Now he's compromising. He's uncompromising when he wants to be. Suddenly bailed out. Hold on here. Hold on here for a second. Probably both sides can lose this. Alright, all I won on time. I mean, it should be probably a draw. Apparently I was close to winning, and I was lost. I was lost in Schieberspieler book with Rook G6. Though I didn't see how I was lost. We were both winning or losing. Although he was never as lost as me, I was dead lost. Why was I dead lost? Rook G6, check, king here. No, this is not it. Next, later. Rook G6 here. King F1. Oh, you had some crazy computer line. Because there's no bishop A6. And I dropped a rook. Yeah, nobody's looking for that. But it was a close game otherwise. And, tough battle. Yeah, I mean, I felt like it was equal. Alright, so, final standings. Schieberspieler wins. 6.5. Deservedly. Beat me on tie breaks. Beat me on points. Lionel Spoon, thanks for donating 100 bits. And for the stories of the Philadelphia chess scene. We got Schieberspieler first place 6.5. I got 6. Not so deservedly. Schieberspieler with a 26-24 performance. And Mickey Ducat played and made 23-90 performance. 4.5 points. Zernflad, Druve goal, 4th and 5th. Got Yevgeny Aldisto, not a French specialist. Palotz with 3. Tough pairing against Schieberspieler in the last round. Kwon with 2.5. Flaming Pop 2. And Asterbait. Also good to see Jeroen here. Asterbait, our team favorite, got him a win. Kind of sketchy win there in round 4. Alright, Mr. Coffee, it's over. Yeah. Congratulations to Schieberspieler, French champion 2021. I'll do another thematic next month. Once a month or something like that is enough. We're going to be back on Wednesday. Thanks everyone for tuning in. For the gift sub from Cooking Rooks, for donations from WJ Loof, Lionel Spoon, and Cooking Rooks. Thanks all you guys for supporting the stream. Every little bit helps. Appreciate it. Congratulations again to Schieberspieler. Thanks for playing. FIDE Master Schieberspieler victorious with 6.5 out of 7. I'm just barely able to get to 6. Lucky in that. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you all tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. CEST. Let's see if we can do a raid Everyone's doing the. Everyone's doing the evil chess site. I'm gonna throw a raid. No, I don't think Hikaru needs a raid. Let's do a raid of Chespia. Yeah. She's cool. Alright, we're gonna raid Chespia. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.